Listen up, warrior. I saw a terrific documentary this evening. Now, I don't want to scare you, but I do want to recommend this because right now what's happening in our country and across the world warrants investigation, warrants raising awareness, warrants all of us taking action about AI, artificial intelligence. My husband and I took in a screening. It's called the AI documentary. It's also called the Apocaloptimist, but I'll just stick to the AI documentary. Why did I say this is so terrific? Look, we're in the here, the now, going forward. AI is here, it is not going away. This documentary kind of brings both sides, to the table as far as everything that's bad about it, everything that's good about it, leaving you with, food for thought to think about what's happening. The worst thing we can do right now is ignore all of this. I really believe, we at the Warriors believe, that everybody has a duty. They must and they can do something. Now, this documentary will let you see both sides. A lot of the experts, there's only a handful of people, these CEOs from Silicon Valley, that are developing all of this technology. And that's another problem, because are we letting them, we, the people in America, right? Tax-paying people, Constitution, right? Are we allowing these people, these CEOs, right? Big tech, to run the government and create the world they want to see? And it was very interesting to hear thoughts from all these different people and from organizations, working in AI and researchers and things like that. Now, this documentary just opened today and it's playing around the country. What I found interesting, though, is that it really does point out what I don't think most of America is hearing. Sure, we at the Warriors talk about this all the time. We're entrenched in this. But also, go back and look on this channel for my interview with Tim Estes and also Janet Kelly. I just interviewed them the other day. They just launched Alliance for a Better Future, and it's about, taking back what is ours in America. Let's deal with AI the American way. And that incorporates our Constitution, right? We're not giving away our country to these big tech oligarchs that, look, times are changing. We just saw these two cases back to back this week with Meta, holding them accountable in New Mexico and also in California. And so we must be a part of all. So I'm going to suggest that your homework, I like to give homework at the Warriors, is in order to open up conversations, go see the documentary if possible, or wait till it comes online, or wait till it comes on streaming, whatever that may be, because it points out what is going on. One of the bottom lines I took away also from this is one doesn't really know where all of this is going. However, when I came home, the first article that crossed across my computer was in Louisiana, they're building one of the biggest data centers, Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, in Louisiana, and it's just sucking up. People don't realize when we talk about all of the electric bills going up and water bills going up, these data centers being built to store AI, right? Just imagine all of this information, all of it, and every day just escalating and multiplying. They bought 10 more machines, I think, for the data. It's 10 times bigger than they anticipated. But people don't realize when their bills went up in the last year, we are paying for this. When I mention it to people, they don't seem to know about this. So we really have to come together as communities, as a country. I think it can be done. And we have to reclaim, reset, renew what's going on here. And that we're not going to let AI rule us, rule our children. This is about our future generations. Please see the documentary, the AI doc, if you can. Also, please go. Join the fight in taking back our country, AI, the American way. It is here to stay. I'm going to say that again. But let's use it for good, for the empowerment, not relying on it, not having it replace human beings, not having it replace American businesses. It can be done. The technologists tell me. So that's the Alliance for a Better Future. I also want to say start talking to your kids because they're already involved. Remember how this started? AI has been around a long time. It was kind of unleashed just a few years ago with the cute little chat GPT where all of a sudden everybody loved it. Could write things for you. It could write reports for you. It could, do all kinds of things. So that's the way they get you hooked. We know from the history of big tech. We know, remember MySpace, then it became Facebook, connect with friends and family. Very cute, very nice. And then they roll out all the other things. The tide is changing, warriors. Mark Zuckerberg no longer could hide, and that's not just Mark, but this week it was Mark Zuckerberg, hide behind Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, saying my platform is just a newsstand or a billboard, because these two lawsuits, one was in New Mexico allowing predators, right? Knowingly allowing predators online, right? We have whistleblowers, internal memos. That was that. And then California was a product design. You knowingly put out a product that harmed children. Again, whistleblowers, internal memos. Now, there are thousands of cases slated for big tech. They were waiting to see what happened with these two cases. Right now, there's also another case in Washington State. And I'm curious, though. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, everybody, but will big tech just pay off billions and billions of dollars? Because their focus, their energies, their financing has been all put into AI in the last 2 years. So let's get rid of this and all these platforms and pay them off, shut them up. But we're going to focus on AI. Again, I told you about this massive data center in the state of Louisiana. Who comes from Louisiana? Read between the lines, everybody. Speaker Mike Johnson. Perhaps because we couldn't get COSA on the schedule. Senate version 1748. See where I'm going with this? Maybe that was one of the reasons. Perhaps because Speaker Mike Johnson, after repeated requests for a long time now, requests to meet with survivor parents whose children have been harmed by the internet, he never would address, answer, take a meeting. However, right after the trial this week, who went to Washington and met with Speaker Mike Johnson? None other than Mark Zuckerberg. He has open entree. Why is that allowed? But our survivor parents, our American parents, whose children have been harmed, can't get a meeting, can't get a response. Time to step up. Time to have, a couple of pillars of what's going on with this AI, how we're going to deal with it. But if we don't use our voices, if we don't get involved with our schools and find out how are they using AI, if we don't get involved, write to house.gov, senate.gov, find out who represents you. I tell you this all the time. Write to them. What's happening in my district? What's happening in my state with AI? Voices matter. Always follow the warriors, lynswarriors.org, Alliance for a Better Future. Let us come together. Let us educate each other and our kids. Because all of this is about our future generations, right? It's not about you and me. But we got to fight for those kids. So let's really take back our America. Because literally, there were like 5-6 people, top of the chart, Silicon Valley, pushing all of this AI. And it was very disheartening to see our First Lady walk out with a humanoid robot or whatever that thing was the other day. And to hear her talk about, a child can learn from this robot, a child or humanoid, whatever she was calling it. A child can, it can be in the comfort of their own home. It can be a curriculum developed for them. That is isolation. That is not real. We need human beings, especially children. Need eye contact, need touch and feel, need to develop all their senses. Not some piece of plastic machinery. You know it and I know it. Let's come together. I'm recommending the AI doc. Find it, watch it, let your brain start, thinking about things and what you can do in your own home and community, and also talking to your kids. and let's reconvene, because I've always said, I don't think any of this big tech stuff, they are interested right now, as I'm watching all this unroll in the last year. Facebook and X and Snap, gaming, that's just going to be there, right? Will they really go in now and do a product redesign? Will they really hire more people and have these safety councils we keep hearing about? Yet there's no transparency. And with the AI, we need to demand, have we not learned from the history of big tech, right? 30 years, right, since 1996. They must be held accountable because they make promises they do not keep. They have not done their best to protect kids. We know all this. So going into this AI, we're in the AI. Let us demand, we learned from that, let us demand this is what they do. We need complete transparency. Who's working on all of this? What are the plans? And these data centers. It hurt me to read about in Louisiana, they dug up, beautiful farmland, and it's acres and acres of these ugly looking building, and just horrific. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. It hasn't even really started yet. Don't close your eyes. Don't close your ears. Get on board. Artificial intelligence, the AI doc. I recommend it. Let's come back and talk about it in the future. In the meantime, talk to your kids open and honestly. Community creates change. And when you wake up each and every day, go out and be a warrior.